Welcome to the Good Games Podcast, episode number 163. This is a show where we talk about video games and gamer-related things. My name is Frank from Palmenso, and I'm your host. And as always, I'm joined by the co-host of the show, Alex Nunez. What's up, sir?
I've been a little better. I'm kind of recovering from being sick, so if I sound a little weird, that's why. But other than that, I'm doing okay. I'm happy that Team Mayo won. Congrats, guys! You guys did it.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I participated in that. I had a cousin that was over, and I got to play a little bit of Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
Even though he was Team Ketchup, the traitor. I did play one match against Team Mayo, and Mayo won anyway. So I'm not saying that I threw the match. I'm very inexperienced with Splatoon and was not expecting the very short game times for that game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Team Mayo. I support Team Mayo for sure.
That's cool that you got your hands on Splatoon 2 and you're just messing around with it.
Yep.
Cool. What'd you think?
Yeah, just walking around a little bit, and then I think I did maybe 2 matches total. I didn't do a whole lot with it, but it was fun. And yeah, like again, like the main, like I guess my main takeaway was like, damn, these matches are like 2 minutes long.
Yeah, they're really short.
I was like, okay. And I'm here most of it's like 50% of the match. I'm like in the back, like just throwing paint on our spawn area. Like I gotta clean every little inch of this place.
Yeah,
everybody's running forward trying to get people and stuff like that. I'm here just like I'm the janitor.
Well, there's
after everyone leaves class.
Well, there's people with different mindsets when it comes to games like that, especially the whole like team game sort of thing. Like in Overwatch, for example, there are people with like different types of players and stuff like that, and that's why that game is so good because it appeals to everyone's different type of personality. But yeah, that's cool, man. I'm sure you're not the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, man. But yeah, so I did a thing, and
what
I want to talk about it.
Is this confession time? What's going on here?
Yeah, man. I did a thing. So the other day, actually, I think it was Friday. No, yeah, it was Friday last week. So
okay,
I was actually looking at articles to, scouring the internet for articles to talk about on this very show, on this very episode today.
Okay. You say articles, and I automatically think of something naughty, like I read Playboy just for the article.
Oh, no. Okay. Some of those articles are kind of compelling, but but these days I'm not so sure. It's been a while, but in any case, so I was scouring gaming articles and gaming media, and I came across one such article that said, God damn it, I hate myself.
Okay.
So this article said, hey, the Xbox One is on sale on Amazon. And it's on sale. And he said that the Xbox One, I think, regularly now goes for $250.
Frank, please don't
wait,
tell me this is going where it's going. Oh my God!
Just listen to me.
I'm gonna wait with bated breath.
Let me finish the story.
Okay.
Let me finish.
I'm gonna try not to bite my fingernails off while you tell me the story.
So they said Xbox One is already pretty cheap. It goes for $250.
Mm-hmm.
It's $250 on Amazon right now, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then it said, but this is the Xbox One S.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's a nice little system. It's smaller. It's white, and it's got more processing power. And then, I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's whatever. It's Xbox One. And I'm like, well, I did say I was going to try to get one before Ori and the Will of the Wisps comes out.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, but that's a long time away. That's probably not even going to be this year, or maybe like late next year. And so they're like, yeah. So also there's a deal going on today that if you buy the Xbox One S, Amazon will give you 4 free games. And I'm like, oh, all right, 4 free games. They're probably like, shovelware, bottom of the barrel stuff. And then they said the 4 games that you will get, and I'm like, oh, this should be good. Said you're gonna get Recore. I'm like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get Forza Motorsport 6. I'm like, huh?
That's a good game.
Yeah. And then they said you are going to get Ghost Recon Wildlands. I'm like, oh. And they said, last but not least, you're gonna get Halo 5. I'm like, what?
Okay.
These are like all the like top titles. You like all like top titles for this system. And so they're like, yeah, 4 games for free, and you get an Xbox One S. And I'm like, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. You know what? I might not be able to get these other 4 games, which I may never play, but at least I'll have them. So I did a thing, and I bought an Xbox One S.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what to tell you, man. Like,
the love for Ori is too strong. That's all.
I was just surprised that you turned in your Xbox One, your first Xbox One, in so fast. Like, I was expecting maybe you would hold on to it maybe for a few more months, for maybe just in case, like this hot Xbox title that you never heard of yet, and you just, I don't know, you just did it. You got rid of it. You're like, I'm gonna wash my hands of it, and now look at you.
I did it, man.
You came crawling back to your
I did.
ex.
It's only because of Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Honestly, if they just made up their minds and just released Ori like everywhere, you know, just make it come out everywhere, then I wouldn't have bought the system again. But the love for that game is too strong, and I'd be willing to play the first one again. Like, I don't care. And besides, Xbox One S is I'm not promoting it by any means. I still really honestly don't really like the system, but I just want to play that game.
What about the system don't you like? Is it just the game selection, or is it something else?
It's the games primarily. Yeah, it's the games primarily. It's just not that not only are they not for me, but a lot of it is non-exclusive. And the reason why I even got it was because of an exclusive for it, you know? So it's that. That's the biggest problem I have with it. Yeah, I was never a Microsoft person. It just never appealed to me.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, before you get rid of that Xbox One, talk to me first, because I might be interested, because there are a couple of Xbox One exclusives that I might be worth to check out. Now,
that being said, I'm probably going to hold on to this one.
Sure.
No. I'm probably going to hold on to this one for the duration. I mean, I had an Xbox 360 for like 3 years, and the only reason I got rid of it was because it red ringed on me.
Okay.
So, like, I had planned to keep that system for a while, and yeah, that didn't happen. So
I don't know. You don't seem like the type of guy that likes to keep a lot of extraneous stuff around. I, on the other hand, have pretty much every system that I've bought still, and I will not part with them.
Hey, that's cool, man. I mean, in this day and age, you just have like a lot of, I don't want to say rehashes, but you have just a lot of older games and titles being repeated on newer systems. And so now I know for the novelty, you might want to keep the older stuff, and then of course there's some stuff that I still have, or that I re-get because they appeal to me so much, you know, when I was younger, that I just had to get them back, like the Neo Geo Pocket Color or the Sega Saturn or the Dreamcast. You know, like those I got back, and those I'm holding on to. I'm never letting those go again, because the only reason I let those go in the past is because there was a different time, needed the money, and you know, now I'm doing a little better, and so I could afford to keep them again.
Right.
But yeah, now I'm more of the type, like, if the games just keep coming out on the newer systems, and it's like, well, yeah, I don't like to keep a whole lot of clutter around.
Yeah.
But this system is one of the newer systems, and you know, same deal with this system as well, like older games coming out on it. It's backwards compatible. So, you know, that might lend itself to some things, but it's just primarily I got it for Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps, because
I mean, you probably would have been better off just like upgrading your laptop. And then you would have been able to get Ori. And then you'd have a better computer at the same time.
I know, but the sale, like the sale with the 4 games, man, I'm like, what? Like, you know, I probably will never, I probably would play Halo 5 just for the storyline. I probably play pretty much all of those games for the storyline.
Yeah.
But yeah, Forza Motorsport, not really for the story, just to see the mechanics of it all and stuff. But
yeah.
But yeah, I just you know, when something kind of just like the universe just kind of like screams at you, like, you must do this.
Okay.
Like, that was one of those things. It was one of those things like Xbox One S on sale. I'm like, cool. Xbox One S on sale with 4 games. And I'm like, okay, how much? $248. I'm like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, which games? These 4 games. I'm like, ah, shit.
I mean, when you say it like that, it almost sounds like you're irresponsible with money. I don't know.
No, see, that's the thing. I'm really not, though. Like, I'm actually pretty responsible. Like, I'm the one that saves, and I'm the one that, like, you know, plans ahead. And I just have, you know, thankfully I'm in a place where I have the disposable income.
Yeah.
So I was just able to grab it. And yeah, I'm glad that I can say that I can do that, that I'm in a place where I can, like, you know, say like, hey, I saw an Xbox One and I bought it.
Yeah, that's the goal usually, is to be able to stay above water.
Yeah.
And financially speaking.
You know, me and my wife, thankfully, we're well above that, you know, so we're doing all right.
That's cool.
And yeah, so that was a thing that happened.
Actually, if anyone out there is listening and you're interested in starting a pool for when Frank gets rid of his Xbox One,
oh my God! If
hit me up,
if you start
maybe
a
we
pool,
can talk.
If you start a pool, you will lose. All of you, will lose.
Okay, we'll see about that.
You will lose. There was a pool going with my sister-in-law and her friends and myself with how long it would take me to go back to the iPhone. And I said, I'm never going back to the iPhone. And I've been using Android since 2014, I think.
I mean,
yeah, I've been using Android since 2014. What's that?
It's not that long of a time.
It's not that long of a time, but I told, like, she expected me to go back within the year.
Okay.
And I'm like, you'll see. Never going back. Never going back. Like, I have an iPhone 6 as a work phone, but I don't use that anyway. But I'm never going back. And she's very disappointed. No, she's very disappointed. Like my wife's whole family is iPhone family. Like, they all have like Apple products and stuff. And I'm like, no. I'm like, no. The only reason I step near a Mac is because it's awesome with media. Besides that, nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah, the only bad thing about the iPhone is that once you're in the iMessage realm, it's hard to get out.
It is because it's like I'm glad that I'm like, I had to completely change over the format of the OS, because the whole iMessage thing, it's just like, ugh. Because it's like, oh, you're getting a message here, and you're getting a message from like all these fucking people, and like every time someone responds, you're getting it on your iPhone and your iPad or your iPod or your Mac or whatever Apple product that you own, and I'm like, oh, God.
Which can be good. I have services like that. I use like Google Voice and shit, and I can get my text messages from a browser if I wanted to. Mm-hmm. It's cool.
Most of the time, they run once the messages for me. And I'm glad that I'm out of that chain. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but it's true. I'm so glad I'm out of that. But
damn,
yeah,
the truth's coming out.
It's been out.
I was right. This was a confession. Holy shit. Look at what we've done.
It's been out. It's been out. It's one of those things where it's just like, come on. Like, why so much? And throughout the day, like, I got work to do, and God. But in any case, yeah. If you do get a pool going, trust me, you're gonna lose. I will hold on to it forever. Especially if there's a payout. What?
I mean, I'm not gonna let you know that there's a pool if there is a pool.
Well, now that I know that there's a potential for one, hey, well, I could hold on to it for a while.
Okay, fair enough.
So, but yeah, I got an Xbox One S
again.
Well, before I had an Xbox One.
Yeah, the regular one.
The regular one. I haven't hooked it up yet. It just came today, actually, and I haven't hooked it up yet. Holy shit, I'm doing it.
I told you.
Shit, I told you. Alex had a pre-show note for me. And I was just like, I don't do that, and I just fucking did it, and I didn't even realize it.
and I told you, like, while we're recording, you're gonna have the revelation. It's gonna hit you. You're gonna do it without thinking about it, and then like, oh my God,
I fucking did it, and I didn't even realize I was doing it. And I'm like I'm doing it on purpose now, and I'm realizing like, oh, that's how I do it. Holy shit. Okay. So
yep.
So yeah, but Got it. Hyper aware. So now, so I haven't tested out the Xbox One S yet, but it seems smaller, which I appreciate very much because the Xbox One was huge.
Yeah. And I think with the S, they got rid of the fucking huge, like, battery, whatever, the...
yeah,
AC
like
adapter.
the power pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. God, that thing was terrible.
Yeah,
Like,
I know
Xbox
it's definitely not going to be in the
360 had it
X. I'm pretty sure the S does not have it. So it's like the PS2 or the PS4. You just plug it in the power and just a regular cable and nowhere to figure out where to hide this fucking huge brick.
That thing was massive. Why? So yeah, I'm hoping that the system is cool. I don't have the capability of testing anything 4K with it yet. Okay. But if it can play 4K Blu-rays, I might want to check that option out.
It does actually. It does, yeah. And I've actually started buying like 4K Blu-rays just for like future-proof sakes and that sort of thing. Even though I don't have anything that can play a 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I mean, they always come. At least the ones that I've gotten so far, they come with the regular Blu-ray as well. Still, so I can still get my 1080p on whilst I'm hoping for 4K in the future.
Yeah, it's kind of weird though. I would have to like hook it up to the TV in my living room because that is a 4K TV.
Okay,
and then I can see the whole full capability. But 4K movies are expensive though. 4K movies are mad expensive, but I think it's because it comes with all the other stuff too. But they're like $40, and I'm like, damn, that's how much Blu-rays were when they first came out. DVDs too.
Yeah, I don't think they're that expensive anymore. The 4Ks at least. Yeah,
I guess it's just not that many of them, honestly. But it's not like a widely accepted format yet. But
yeah, plus Netflix has a lot of 4K stuff and HDR stuff, so that might be worth checking out.
Yeah, very true. But all right, man. No, this was fun.
Yeah.
So next week, in any case, let's start with the show, and let's start with what we've been playing. And Alex is going to go ahead and start us off as usual. So, what you got for us?
As I guess usual, I'm playing like a medley of things at the moment. Overwatch just kicked off their summer event, so I was like, I was in there trying to get some Lucio ball, and I don't know, the changes they made to it, I don't feel great about it. I liked kind of being able to boop people and suck the ball into the goal and shit like that. It's I don't know, it's hard. It's like a bad version of Rocket League now.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna be working to get my skins because man, some of those skins are crazy. Like especially that Widowmaker skin. I don't know, the internet is all in a tizzy over that fucking skin.
Yep.
Actually, when the game booted up and it showed like it has like I think 3 of the characters with the new skins, and I was not fully prepared for Hot McCree. McCree, he's a sexy ass motherfucker, as his little belt thing denotes. And I was like, holy shit! Like in like screenshots that they have for him, it's like it's not that big of a deal. But I don't know, him just standing there like with his chest out and bare chested and everything, and I was like, god damn. But yeah, I'm gonna be playing a lot more of summer games and grinding for loot boxes. But I've also put some more time into Pyre, which is a game I'm not playing a lot. Like I've played maybe 2 sessions of that game, like lifetime so far, and I feel like I should be putting more time into that game. But I did get to the point. I think last week I kind of postulated like, oh, you can't just play the 8 whatever, rights, and that's going to be the end of the game. And I was kind of right. Like the game doesn't end there, and it kind of keeps going from there. And in a way, it opens up. So right now, it is very interesting. I'm more interested in the game now than I was even before.
Really?
Because now I'm just playing more of the game, and then literally the world map opens up. So now I can go wherever I want to go, and before you had to kind of like after you did a right, you had to look up into the sky and select the brightest star because that's going to tell you where your next right is going to take place. At the point that I'm at now in the game, I'm given like 3 choices of stars, so I can like pick where I want to go, and now I know which team I'm going to face. And now there's a fucking leaderboard for all the different teams with all their win-loss rates. Since I've started playing the game, and the person or the team that has like the highest win rate gets to face off against us in like the liberation rights, which is the right that decides who gets to go free out of exile. And I'm like, oh shit, this is fucking crazy. Now the interplay between all the different teams and the leaders of the teams is a lot more interesting because I can like purposefully play against this team to knock them down so that they don't get a chance to do that. So I am way more into this game now. The next time, and the other funny thing is that the next time or the second time or like subsequent times that you face off different teams, like if you beat a team and then you have to face them off again, they get abilities now, because before they just had like the basic move set. And you know how I was explaining last week how you can like level up your characters and they get different masteries and abilities that they can just inherent and passive abilities or like active abilities that they can use in the match that make them a little more interesting.
Yeah.
Now your opponents get access to that same skill tree. And the next time, each time you fight them and each time, I don't know if it's only if you beat them or if you just play them at all, like the next time you play them, they will actually get one of those abilities. So it'll kind of even the playing field. So they'll be a little harder to beat because they have access to these other abilities that you might not have, you might not be used to dealing with on the other side. So it's the game has opened up a bit more, and I am way more intrigued. And even story-wise as well, story-wise, it's a lot more interesting, and I'm interested how it ends, how they pull off the ending, because it has proposed something kind of crazy, and I'm all for it.
Cool. I gotta play this game, man.
you really did. I'm kind of surprised you haven't jumped on.
I know. Me too. I trust me. We're working hard on something right now, and it's kind of taking up a lot of time. But I really got to get into this game. I really do. But there have been other games that I've been playing that are like really fun too. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing more Pyre, because just everything that is in that game is fantastic. And like you, Frank, I guess I also did a thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I was in Steam as I am, and
I was in Steam as I am, and I'm like,
I don't know if it was just like a certain video that I was watching, or if it's just like it just hit like capacity in my brain. Like, all right, I've seen enough of this game. I might as well just dive in myself. So I bought myself the PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds game that has been lighting Steam on fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in case you've been living under a rock and don't know what this game is, it is basically just a battle royale game.
Yeah.
It takes up to 100 players and puts them on a plane. This plane flies over an island. The island is always the same. And then you can jump out of the plane onto the island and basically fend for yourself, because there'll be different buildings and stuff on the island, and most of those buildings will have like weapons and different equipment and stuff like that. So you kind of have to, I don't know, I guess sort of like Metal Gear Solid OSP, get all your shit once you get in the island, because when you drop in the island, you don't have anything, just the clothes on your back, and that's it. So you gotta drop in, get loaded up with weapons, and then try and be the last person alive on the island. One of the cool things about this game, the way that it tries to promote combat, is that shortly after everyone lands on the island, a circle will appear. And that circle is where everyone needs to be, because if you are outside of that circle, you will slowly lose health. So it is in your best interest to always be in that circle. Sometimes you can be screwed if you drop down from the airplane at a bad position and you're just like too far away from the circle. I've been outside. I spent a couple of matches, like the majority of my time, just running to the circle. I was like, I need to get in the fucking circle. I am outside of the circle. I have been outside of the circle for my whole life. It feels like I need to get back inside, and I just eventually died because I can't do it. Because I can never find a vehicle. I've never found a vehicle in this game. Actually, no, I'm lying. I'm gonna get to that later though. But most of the time, I have not found a vehicle that I can get to one place really fast. But yeah, so the circle, you have to get into the circle, and then every few minutes, the circle just gets smaller and smaller until basically there is no circle. So that's how it kind of forces engagement. Like, okay, you do not want to be outside the circle, especially because like also each circle, like the first circle, if you happen to be outside of the circle, there's like this blue energy wall that kind of closes in around the circle. So that takes a little while to close in on the actual circle. But if you're past that energy wall, that's the thing that will kind of tick your health down.
I see.
But that first blue wall doesn't do a lot of damage, or doesn't do damage really fast. But once you get to like the final walls or the final circles, that's when it gets like very lethal. Like you can only be out of that circle for like a second, if that. So at the beginning of the game, you're like, okay, like you can heal up after you get in the circle if you happen to be outside of it. But once that circle has gone down to a certain size, then you definitely don't want to be outside of it because you'll die. And so that's the basic gameplay loop of this game. It's like super simple to get in and out of. There's like I think they sold like 5 million copies of this game, and it's still in early access.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's everyone is playing it. So yeah, like you jump in, you load the game, you jump into a match, and like you're automatically in a fucking lobby of 100 people. Like it never fails. Like there are people, everybody's playing this game.
Yeah.
So you die, and then you just go back to the lobby and get into another game, and it's just like, okay, we're doing it. You're back in the set. Like there's no like downtime really, and that's cool about this game. I feel like the thing about this game for me is like it's a lot of like I come away with it with a lot of little anecdotes, like just like funny stories of like what happened in my PUBG games, and those are always, at least to me, hilarious. Like one of the thing with the car, right? So in one game, I dropped down into this area, like I was gonna like go into this house, and then as I was parachuting down, I noticed that there was somebody next to me. I was like, oh fuck, I gotta take this guy out real fast. So my plan was to punch him to death. So as I landed, I made a beeline for that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He caught wind of my plan, and he also tried to run away from me. And we ran into the direction of a vehicle, and he got into the vehicle, and I'm like, no, you fucking don't. And then I got in the passenger side of that vehicle. And I have no weapon. I know you can shoot while you're inside of a car, but I don't think you can punch somebody when you're inside of a car. But I was trying really hard to figure out if I could, and then somehow I exited the vehicle. I was like, all right, cool. And then he's like, all right, now we're dueling, but he's in a car and I have no weapons except for my fists. And so he's trying to like run me over very slowly and very awkwardly. He can't hit me. And then eventually I finagle my way back into the car, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, okay, what are you going to do?
Neither of you could do anything.
I mean, he could keep driving or whatever, but then I don't know. Like
they're just driving together. It's like, hey, can you navigate? I don't know these streets that well.
Yeah, I don't know either. What are you gonna do? And then I don't know, like a fucking new challenger appeared, and somebody. I swear to God, this guy was like on the other side of me. So like it was this other third party. The guy in the driver's seat, and then me, if you imagine a straight line, right? Mm-hmm. Between us. Somehow I got shot out of the fucking car. And I was like, what happened to you? Oh shit, this is how it went down. All right, fine, fair enough.
Oh man.
But yeah, that was like, okay, that happened right away. I was like, shit. But yeah, I don't know. I was just glad that my very first game I got a kill before I was killed. So that was cool.
Yeah, that game, like you said, it's been making like serious waves. And that game sounds insane. Yeah. Like all of it is like insane. And it's just like, it's so insane that it makes you want to try it.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a lot of fun just to go in and try and kill people and stay alive and hide out, maybe set traps or do whatever. There's a whole lot. Like the island is freaking huge. It is insane how big it is. Actually, I will share one other anecdote because it was just dumb. It was very stupid. So I shortly after landing in, I was able to now get supplies. I was geared up. I had weapons and everything. I had a pretty good scope, so I could probably hit somebody from long range if I had a good handle on how the gun physics works in this game. Maybe I could have, but so it ended up that I was going to be outside of the circle. I had 2 minutes to go before the circle was a factor, so I was like, let me jump ahead of this because in other games I've spent so much time outside of the circle. Let me try and get in the circle now early for once. And so I booked it for the circle, and on my way there I saw a couple of guys. Like the first guy, I tried to take some shots. He was not stopping, so I don't know if he had any weapons or whatever. He just kept running. I lost sight of him. I was like, whatever. I'm just going to keep running to the circle. And then I ran across this other guy. And then I did the same thing. I brought out my scope and I took my long range gun and I tried to take some shots. I hit him maybe like once or twice, but I couldn't get him down because he was just running. And I'm a bad shot in that game.
Mm-hmm.
So again, he kept running and I was running low on ammo. So I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm just going to put my weapons away and I'm going to just run for the circle. And he's also running for the circle. So eventually maybe I'll catch up to him. And then as we're running, I see him go down. I'm like, oh shit, fucking people are waiting and like capping people that are trying to get into the circle. So I do the only thing that I can do and I just run serpentine. I'm just going left and right, trying to dodge bullets. And my God, I did not expect that shit to work as well as it did, but holy shit, I was like fucking Neo in the Matrix, just dodging bullets left and right.
Oh my God.
I think I got like clipped once, but my health did not go down beyond like 75% or something like that. And if I don't know, I can only guess by like the gunshots, but it felt like there was maybe 2 people aiming at me, but I was hearing like bullets literally whiz by me. I was like, holy shit. And again, just like left and right, just I was like a snake, man. I was going serpentine. They couldn't hit me. And I think eventually I lost them. Like I got past, I couldn't tell where they were, so I just kept running and my plan was working. So I was like, why am I going to change what's not broken? So fuck it. And eventually I was sort of safe, but I still not in the circle. And I took a little break. I found a little hill area so I could like get behind in like the valley section so that I kind of like in the opposite direction where the other guys were or where I thought they were. And just checking my gear. And I'm about to get going again to the circle. And then I hear this car coming. I'm like, fuck. So I try to take out my scope again and see if I can see where the guy is. And then he sees me and I'm like, oh shit. So I'm going to try and run around. And I thought he was going to keep going for the circle, but he stops and he tries to get me or he tries to run me over. And it's sort of the same thing, but now he's going a lot faster and I don't have a lot of evasive maneuvers available to me. And I think the first pass he missed me. Then he takes a wide turn and he tries to gun me down. And I'm like, God, if you're going to take me down, I'm going to fucking take you with.
What?
And I was like right in front of the fucking car and I just like lined up the headshot and I fucking took him out. But
oh, nice.
But again, the car was
still moving.
Was still going.
So it ran you over.
I died. So it was like, all right, fuck it. I'm happy with that at least. I wanted to get in the circle, but at least I took that fucking guy out. I was happy.
Nice.
But yeah, that game is a lot of fun. I kind of understood the appeal before just watching the game like on Twitch and other videos and stuff like that. But yeah, playing it firsthand is also fun.
Cool.
The next step is probably to see if I can get a group going and see if we can play the game together because you can also squad up and I think up to 4 people per team.
That's the I know that's going to be like the natural evolution of things. People are going to start forming gangs and shit in there. It's going to be like territorial. It's going to be like the Warriors or something.
I mean, it's not like Rust. I don't know if you heard of Rust, but that's kind of what Rust became. Is like because it was like sort of like this MMO thing where you could just like occupy this area.
Yeah.
But at least in PUBG, you just like the island is like wiped fresh clean every time you go in, and then you have to kind of like deal with what you have on the spot. So it's not like somebody can just kind of like build a fucking fort or anything like that. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna hole up in this house and maybe watch out windows and shit like that. I don't know. But
yeah.
It's not as bad as something like Rust, but yeah, it's fucking crazy. Like, especially seeing some of the fucking high level guys playing this game, like they can tell, like if they hear a gunshot, they know exactly what direction it's coming from. Like, holy shit, that's crazy. That is insane. But yeah, this game is really cool.
Cool.
And now you can play it because it's coming out for the Xbox One next year.
Oh God, I can. God damn it. What have I done?
I know what you were planning all along, Frank.
I said it. I said Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I freaked out when I saw the trailer, and I'm like, this is going to happen. Eventually, it's going to happen. I just didn't think it was this soon.
Yeah.
so yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game looks insane. Like I do want to try it myself. Looks crazy talk, like crazy bananas.
Yeah, it is insane. Especially when you're in the lobby in the beginning, you're like on the runway where the airplane takes off, and people just like fucking lighting themselves up with Molotov cocktails, running around on fire and shit. It's
oh my God,
it is insane. It's insane.
What's wrong with people? Goodness gracious. People were crazy. But, all right, man. Cool. Well, I'm going to, I guess, talk about what I've been playing. And so I picked up, I started playing Shovel Knight Treasure Trove.
All right.
And so Shovel Knight Treasure Trove is basically, it's the original Shovel Knight, and it also comes with the DLC that came out, I think, previously. I think there was one of them that came out fairly recently.
Yeah.
But
had you not played the Shovel Knight before?
No, I have.
Okay,
I totally have. Yeah, I actually talked about it on the show.
All right. Yeah, and, I thought you did.
Yeah, but yeah. So I picked up Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, and so Shovel Knight Treasure Trove is basically 3 games in one with a lot of extra stuff thrown in. So it's the original Shovel Knight, it's Spectre of Torment, and it is Plague of Shadows. So I played the original Shovel Knight over again, just to kind of just familiarize myself with because it's been years since I played the original. I think it's been like 3 years or 2 years since I played the original. So I played Shovel Knight again, and it's still to me just as great as it originally was. Have you played Shovel Knight?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. So Shovel Knight is a fantastic game. Love it. And so then I'm like, all right. So I beat Shovel Knight. It took me about 6 hours. And so I'm like, all right, let's try another one. So the next obvious choice for me was Spectre of Torment. Because I don't know, for some reason, Plague of Shadows to me didn't seem very compelling. It seemed like a different kind of game.
Okay.
So Spectre of Torment is more along the lines of the original Shovel Knight. So you basically take control of Spectre Knight, which is one of the bosses in the game, and it's a prequel to the Shovel Knight game. And you kind of find the story of like why Spectre Knight is in the situation that he's in, why he is who he is, and basically it's his job to get the other knights together to join the Enchantress. And so it gives you an excuse to go through the same stages, but the stages are remixed because Spectre Knight's abilities are very different from Shovel Knight's.
Right. So
the stages are remixed, but you go through the same stages and you fight the bosses, and that's basically the reason why you fight all the bosses, the same bosses, because you have to, align them to the Enchantress's cause. So Spectre Knight is dope, man. I love Spectre Knight. I think I like him more than Shovel Knight.
What is his ability?
So his thing is he has several, but his main ability is he obviously attacks with a sickle. He has a little bit more range than Shovel Knight does, but his one little like gimmick is that he can do like a dash attack through projectiles and enemies.
Oh, okay.
And you can use that in platform. You can use that for platforming methods or for just causing damage. So there will be like these like lanterns that will be like placed in certain places that you need to use them to navigate from one point to another. So basically, if you are below the lantern or below the point, then you would shoot up. But if you're above it, then you shoot down. There's no controlling the direction on that. So you just have to basically align your body with where you want to go.
Okay.
It's basically at an angle, at a 45-degree angle.
Okay.
So of where you want to go. So using that, they throw in a lot of really cool elements in every single stage now that utilizes that. And you basically have to really get familiar with that gimmick really quickly, because you need to use that in order to progress through the game. Spectre Knight is also naturally stronger, a lot stronger than Shovel Knight, and it's apparent with the bosses too, because the bosses all have completely different patterns now than they do when you fight them with Shovel Knight.
Right. So
they're harder. That's one thing. They're a lot harder, and they basically do very different things. Like the Black Knight, for example, has like a fucking like a vehicle. Or like an animal. It's like an animal that's like a vehicle.
Okay.
And he also attacks you. He also uses the animal/vehicle to attack you while he's doing the same attacks that he does with Shovel Knight. So it's like hard. All the bosses have these like new gimmicks that like make them very difficult and very like different. And also, Spectre Knight's hub is really awesome because his hub is the castle, the final castle that you go to with Shovel Knight.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, you know, you're kind of like hanging out inside the castle with all the enemies that you fight. And it's really cool too because when you recruit a boss or when you beat a boss, then when the next time you go to the castle, you'll see the boss in like a certain area of the castle. And they're kind of just there, like doing the thing that, you know, you want them to do. Like for example, I think it's Tinker Knight. He's like he wants, like, Enchantress wants him as an engineer to build stuff. So you'll see him in a certain part of the castle, like just building shit.
Okay.
Plague Knight is the same thing. He wants him to build potions or medicine for the enemies, and like you'll see him in like the lab of the castle, like doing that shit. So it's really cool. The castle also has like a lot of like really different sections. Like, you know, Shovel Knight's the village for Shovel Knight had like different sections that you could explore. Like there was the one section with Mona with the mini game that you could just try to keep beating your own high score.
Yeah.
So they have a different version of that for Spectre Knight, and it's not the same game, but it's basically just a complete platforming section where you have to just make it to the top of this area, while the knight that is proposed the game to you is chasing you up the platform with like an electric floor.
Okay.
And the screen is scrolling up, so you just basically have to platform your ass up to the top. And you don't get any reward for making it a certain distance. You have to make it to the top.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So yeah, and you die, and then you have to start all over again. There's no checkpoints or anything like that. So that's a really challenging part of the game too, but it's also a mini game. It's optional. So yeah, I just love like the design of that hub and the castle, and the music to it is really cool too because it's very Castlevania-like music.
Nice.
And it's just all really awesome. And also, Spectre Knight gets these sub weapons just like Shovel Knight would, and Spectre Knight's sub weapons are awesome. Like he has an item that basically just refills his health instantly.
Okay.
So in a pinch that you can just use it, but you use a magic meter called Darkness. And whenever you use any of your sub weapons, it takes some of your darkness away. But naturally you can build up that meter to its max point. But yeah, there's also a lot of hidden stuff. There's like red skulls that you can use to buy these sub weapons. There's money that buys you different types of armor, which if you played Shovel Knight, the different types of armor do different things. You have also you can upgrade your sub weapons once you acquire them for like 4,000 whatever the currency is in that game. And on top of that, there are like achievements, or they call them feats in the game. And there's just a lot going on with Spectre of Torment. And the best thing to me about Spectre of Torment is that Spectre Knight has a story, like a really pretty involved story. And they, if you beat like 4 bosses, then they'll like kind of like put you back to like the night that Spectre Knight made it to the castle before he became Spectre Knight. He was just a regular guy, I think he was a thief, but yeah, he's just a regular guy. And he's like at the night that he made it to the castle with his friend, and then they go through the castle bit by bit. Once you start progressing through the game itself, then they'll just keep bringing you back to more portions of that area and what happens eventually in the end. And then you see how he fully becomes Spectre Knight. And so it's really cool. And I think I enjoyed Spectre of Torment more than Shovel Knight, the original Shovel Knight game. And yeah, I urge you, if you haven't played Spectre of Torment, to try it out because it's so cool. And it's just the same type of fun stuff that Shovel Knight had.
Yeah. Shovel Knight, was fucking so good, like across the board. Like even base Shovel Knight had an awesome story, like or more developed than you might expect from a game that looks like that.
Yeah, right? yeah. I mean, Spectre Knight is no exception. It's really like interesting how, and he's just so cool, man. Like his style is just so awesome. I love it. Like I love everything about it. Like I felt more compelled to like 100% Spectre Knight's story than Shovel Knight's.
Okay.
But Spectre Knight Spectre of Torment. I mean, was awesome. I loved it to death. It also took me about 6 hours to complete it, but yeah, it's an awesome game. It's the game as a package is just awesome. Now, Plague of Shadows, I haven't fully tried yet. I've only played the first level of Plague of Shadows, and that's you controlling Plague Knight. And Plague Knight, basically, his story is that he has his own agenda. He basically wants to make this potion that can make him do whatever he wants. So he just basically wants to control the world with this potion that he's trying to create. And so in order to get this potion, he feels like he needs to defeat his fellow knights. Like, he's already a member of I forget the name of the order, of the
I can't remember either, but
that all the knights are a part of. But he's already a member by this point, including Spectre Knight. Spectre Knight's already there. But Plague Knight's like, I want to build this potion, and he just goes and tries to find the materials to build this potion. So Plague Knight's whole thing is bombs. So you can use the bombs, like in like 4 or 5 different ways, which is pretty cool. But I don't know, I'm kind of not feeling it yet. I just need to play it a little bit more. But you can use the bomb as a bomb. You just throw it out in front of you. You can use the bombs to also kind of like levitate yourself in the air by throwing like 3 of them quickly. And then you can also charge one bomb, and then you can use it to like launch yourself forward or straight up. And then while doing that, you can also like double jump, and you can also just levitate with the bombs. So it's just, there's a lot of like different uses for the bombs, which is very interesting. It's just, to me, he's just not as accessible as Spectre Knight. Like, it's like hard mode or like alternate mode for Shovel Knight. And yeah, and it seems to me there's like almost nothing different about him, but I haven't gone through a lot of it yet. But at the same time, I was just glad to like be able to get like 3 full games in one. And it also has like some extra stuff added on top of it too. But
yeah, I think there's like at least one other campaign down the road too that they're going to add to the
I think so. Yeah, because I think everybody wants to see what's up with the Black Knight. Like the Black Knight's kind of like the rogue. Like he's not a part of that group, but he, people want to know like what his deal is. So I think the Black Knight will be the next one that they add. But yeah, man, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove is awesome. It's definitely worth the value, the price for it. I think I got it for like $15.
Wait, did you buy it again?
Well, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove I never had. I only had the original Shovel Knight.
Oh man, you messed up, dude. You messed up.
What?
Because they made it available so that if you had bought Shovel Knight like originally, like around the time it came out, or like before the Treasure Trove stuff came out, you could upgrade to Treasure Trove like for free.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I bought it for the Switch, so I guess that's why I paid full price for it, because I have it on the PS3.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think. Or is it PS3 or PS4? I think, yeah, whatever, whichever. But yeah, I bought it for the Switch because I just wanted like a library for my Switch.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I didn't mind, honestly. I didn't mind paying that price for it. It's amazing.
How do they separate the campaigns? You just like access them through the menu?
Yeah, basically you start a game. Whenever you start a new game, when you select a file, when you select a new file, you get the chance to pick a character. So when you pick the character, it corresponds. Then the title changes to the character's game. Okay. So if you pick Spectre Knight, it's Shovel Knight, Spectre of Torment. If you pick Plague Knight, it's Shovel Knight, Plague of Shadows. And if you pick Shovel Knight, it's just Shovel Knight.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, but yeah, anytime you select a new file, then you can pick the character.
Okay,
so
that makes sense.
That's how they do it. That's how they do it. Yeah, because I was kind of confused myself because I had played Shovel Knight, the original Shovel Knight, all over again, and I'm like, all right, now I want to use Spectre Knight, and I was trying to do it, and I'm like, wait a minute, but the title still says Shovel Knight, like, what's going on? And so I'm like, fuck, what do I do? So I started a new game, and then I started a new game plus, thinking, I'm like, was there a way to exit? No, there's no way. So then I started a new game again, and I selected a different file, and when I did that, I'm like, oh, okay. So, yeah, Shovel Knight's so good. Spectre of Torment's so good. Plague of Shadows I'm not keen on yet, but I'm sure I'll like it once I get used to it. But yeah, man, it's awesome. Worth the value.
Yeah, it's one of those games I also keep meaning to get back to. I dropped Shovel Knight too early. I really need to play through that.
Yeah, Shovel Knight's amazing. And if you haven't played Shovel Knight by now, you got to get on that. It's good stuff.
I spent a fair amount of time in that hub world trying to bounce on that ball for that feat.
Yeah, then I think you would love the Spectre of Torment one. I haven't seen the Plague of Shadows one yet, but the Spectre of Torment one is it's frustrating, but it's fun because it's just all about platforming. And it's just basically about you can use your sub weapons. They allow you to use your sub weapons. They allow you to use all this stuff, and it's really cool. Oh, one cool thing, and I'm not sure if they did this in the original Shovel Knight, but when you get a sub weapon for Spectre Knight, you immediately have to test it.
Okay.
And you have to test it in a small micro level. Where the only thing that you can use is the sub weapon. You can't attack regularly, or you can't do any kind of special ability moves.
That's
you
cool.
just have to use that sub weapon to navigate through the level. So, and then once you make it to the end, you have to make it back to the merchant who sells it to you. And then once you make it back to the merchant, then you go back to the castle, and he's like, "Hey, that thing is not for that thing is pretty dangerous, so use it well," and so on and so forth. But I like the fact that they force you to test it. They force you to see how it works instead of just getting it and never using it because you never have to use it. You don't know how it works really well.
Yeah. I like the sound of that because you also get a feel for the full specter
scope of it.
What you can do with that ability.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really I like that a lot. That's why I wasn't sure if they did it in the original Shovel Knight, but I don't think so.
It kind of sounds familiar, but I could be wrong.
And maybe, I'm not sure. But I played through the original Shovel Knight, and actually I don't remember doing it then, so probably not. But yeah, I like that about Spectre of Torment. It's oh, hey, how about this sub weapon? And you're like, well, I don't know, I guess this sounds okay. And then you buy it, and then you never fucking use it.
Yeah.
And in this case, you're gonna use it now. You're gonna find out exactly how this works.
Yeah, so. I'm like that in video games where if you give me the option to buy this thing, or it's and then I read about it, I'm I don't know, it doesn't sound really great. And then if I'm and if I'm fine with the default setup, I'm just gonna fucking use the default setup. I'm not even gonna bother with trying other stuff.
Exactly. And that's how I am too. But the fact that because there might be some sub weapons that you're oh, that sounds good. I think I'll get it. I have enough money or whatever currency. And then you get it, and they're all right, you got it. Let's test it now. Let's test it now. And I'm oh shit. And it's the only thing that you can do is using that weapon. So go. So I'm oh, that's really interesting.
That's cool.
So yeah, Shovel Knight, good stuff. Spectre of Torment, great stuff. I loved it. I loved every moment of it. Spectre Knight is easily more my favorite now of the options that you have. But
yeah, those Yacht Club guys, they are fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
and
so good.
I'm surprised they haven't made another game at this point.
I know,
not that I'm aware.
But
of.
I mean, the Shovel Knight train is still kind of going strong, man. So.
Yeah, and the fact they gave all this stuff out for free, for people that bought Shovel Knight in the beginning. I bought it on 3DS, so I was all right, I'm just gonna. And then I got the update for the treasure trove, so I got all that other stuff for free. I was all right, this is fucking dope.
Yeah. No, I definitely recommend it. If you haven't played the original Shovel Knight, play it now. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Story wise, gameplay wise, is dope. Music, graphics. It's just a huge giant throwback to those 8-bit classic games, and it'll warm your heart. And Spectre of Torment does it kind of warms your heart. It's a little darker than Shovel Knight, but it's not in a bad way. So yeah, definitely great game.
I think the last time I played Shovel Knight was for the Street Pass game. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think I played that once. And that was oh, all right. That's a thing. But yeah. Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, amazing. And that's what I've been playing. Yeah, I've been just getting acquainted with my Switch, man. But
cool.
That's gonna change next week. Oh my god, so excited.
Because you got an Xbox One S, you're right.
Yeah. Oh boy, of course I'm excited about that too. And
that's
I'm gonna keep it. And yeah, I'm so excited about that. But next week, that game is coming out. But In any case,
I honestly don't know what you're talking about, but all right, let's just keep moving.
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm like being pulled in so many different directions with like games coming out. I'm like games that I have and games that are to come, and I'm like I don't even know. We're not even on the same wavelength anymore. I don't think, or at least I'm definitely not.
Well, everyone will know next week what I speak of.
All right.
Oh my God. I can't.
I mean, Dragon Ball FighterZ is not coming out, so it's like whatever.
No, I know it's not coming out this year, but this game, oh man, so good. But anyway, so let's move on into headlines. And before we get into our headlines, you are going to go to industrygeeks.com right now, and you're going to follow along with us so you can know what we're talking about and kind of like, say like, oh yeah, I agree. What the hell are they talking about? So the first bit of news is remember last week, if you listened to last week's episode, I said that there was going to be there was a lead up to, but there was an article announcing the, oh my God, what was it last week?
The Persona anime?
Yes, thank you. The Persona anime was announced, right? And I said that there was going to be a concert the following night that was going to possibly have some more Persona announcements. And so that was true. Concert happened, and they had announced at that concert
a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, they announced 3 games primarily. 3 new Persona games. And so the first game, so my initial guess was right that it's going to be basically a Persona Dancing All Night spin-off game. So they have 2 of those games coming out now. So there's going to be Persona 5 Dancing Star Night and a Persona 3 Dancing Moon Night. And they're both going to be coming out for the PS4 and for the Vita. Surprisingly, the Vita, they're still going, I guess they liked how it ended up on the Vita and how things ended up on the Vita, so they decided like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
So, but they're still putting it out on the big boy system.
That's cool.
So yeah. So Japan's going to be getting it sometime early next year, and hopefully over here in the US it won't take that long to localize dancing games. So yeah, that's awesome. I think that's great, and I think let the Persona 5 milking begin, because it's easily a game that can be spun off into many different directions, including a dancing game.
But you don't want it to go overboard.
Well, Persona 4 has been overboard, and they're still on the Persona 4 train super hard right now.
But that took years, and it feels like it's going too fast. And if they don't pump the brakes a little bit, I don't know, maybe there might be a little bit of a brand dilution or something. I don't know. That's what I'm afraid of.
I hope not, because Persona games are so good.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But yeah, and so there was also oh, by the way, there are trailers for both games on this article that you are able to read off of the show notes. So check those out. Pretty cool. The music is good. I'm always down for the music in these games, so yeah, check it out. And they also revealed the kind of like teaser for another Persona spin-off game, and it's Persona Q2, which was kind of like the other like 50%, like, oh, it's going to be dancing all night at Persona Q2. So Persona Q2 is also a thing that's going to happen, and it's going to come out for the 3DS again. And it's going to, there's only a picture of it right now, but the picture heavily dictates that the game is going to basically have just Persona 5 characters. So, or at least have Persona 5 characters in the forefront.
Has a 3DS version been confirmed? Because at least in this article, they don't say that it is, or that picture doesn't say anything about 3DS.
Yes. It says Atlus also revealed the existence of another Persona spin-off title, Persona Q2, for Nintendo 3DS. And it says it right above the picture.
Oh, okay. I missed that. All right.
So, yeah. So, again, it's heavily thought that the main characters of the game will be focused on Persona 5.
Right, yeah, and Persona 5.
Just Persona 5. But it could have a mixture of the other two franchises possibly, because the first Persona Q is a mixture of Persona 4 and Persona 3 characters and just putting them together in a game.
Okay.
Besides Persona 4 Arena. But yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. That's cool. That's happening. Yeah, I'm happy about that. Unfortunately, we're not getting Persona 5 Arena anytime soon because, well, Arc Systems Works is doing a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, that we already know.
And, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle is pretty much, it has Persona characters in there, so,
But not Persona 5 characters, Frank, come on.
I know. If they had Persona 5 characters in there, I'd flip out. And I'm hoping that they put them in there. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. So that's the thing. So, in other news, so, you remember Evo, right? So, Evo
What's
happened. Come on. Evo happened, right? And Evo's gone and done, and it was a great Evo. So there was a rule that stated that players, I think like top 8 or at least people on stream were not able to receive coaching from like, their player coaches that sat off to the side. Uh-huh. So I guess the rule was because it allowed for I don't know. It was kind of, to me, I honestly think it was kind of like a weird rule, but I guess they thought that like, coaching could sway the game in way too much in one player's favor over another, or it could just be offer like, be it like a distraction, too much of a distraction to the other player. So they said no coaching, but now they have lifted that ban on coaching. But there's a catch. So basically, the coach has to remain off of the stage, and they can only coach for up to 30 seconds. Okay. So that's something that we're going to see more more of next year. And yeah, also,
or even in Evo Japan is like a few months away.
Oh yeah, true. But yeah, and there's also kind of like a weird rule that I saw also in this article, which is like, it's the whole like being on stream. So it's kind of like a double standard, I think, with like being on stream. So basically, you can't like demand to be on stream, like if you're not like in top 8, because like top 8, it's like almost required. Well, it's pretty much required to be on stream if you're in top 8 of any game, but you can deny to be on stream if like if it's not top 8, like if you're like maybe like top 16 or so.
Pools.
Yeah, or in pools, and they decide to put you on stream. You can also deny, say like, I don't want to be on stream, and then they're like, okay. So that was also kind of like a weird rule that I had no idea about until I read this, and I was just like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
But yeah. So coaching's back, very limited capacity, but coaching is back. I mean, what do you think about that?
I don't know. I don't know. It feels like, especially with with somebody like Hungrybox, he made a big deal of that coaching helped him with his game tremendously, and that helped him win Evo last year. So I don't know. It's a weird thing. I think we're still like kind of like early stages where like not everyone has a coach. Usually, it's just like your buddies, like, hey, they see something that you keep doing or that you're not seeing, and then they just have to make you aware of it. But that's kind of where coaching is right now. I feel there's no. I don't know. Maybe in the future there might be amendments to this rule that has to like, okay, you have to have like a designated coach. You can't just have like, a bunch of people just coming up at you, even if it's like one at a time. Like, all right, like how many? Where do you draw the line? Like how many and who is able to go on there and on stage or whatever or just behind your ear to tell you what to do in the game? I don't know. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know, because especially I don't know for a one-on-one thing, but. I mean, some people find it helpful, so I don't know.
True. I think, like I said, it was just kind of like weird to me. I'm like, oh, well, I mean, I don't see the problem with it, but then again, it could be very distracting. It could just be like there's strategy involved in almost everything, and it could be a strategy just to like go up there just to really mess with your opponent. You could be saying nothing as a coach, you could be saying nothing to your player.
Yeah.
But it could be just really fucking with the other person's head. So it's there's so many things. I guess that's like one of the main reasons why they kind of like, yeah, no coaching, and now they're like, yeah, sure, why not?
And like, would that like extend to phones now? Like, if in case you're in a situation where you're like, hey, you're on stream, like I'm just gonna check my phone between rounds, and while your coach is like secretly texting you, you should be.
Yeah, basically, he's like, yeah, I noticed that. Like when he's about to do this, like his his eye twitches, or he'll like move a certain way or something. So that could be used to an advantage.
Yeah,
but yeah. Yeah, that's a weird set of rules, but hey, if it works, if it makes for more hype evos, that's all good.
Yeah.
But in other news, I just thought this was hilarious. I think this had to come up here. Like I had to put this here. So Guile, yes, the Guile from Street Fighter is now selling hair gel in Japan. Yo, like, why did this take so long? Why did this take so long? Like, holy shit, this is awesome to me. So, Guile is the new spokesperson or spokesfigure for J-Gel from Yanagiya. And it's a company that's been making cosmetics since 1615? God damn. So, it's really cool because this whole thing is kind of like they have like a little interview with Guile, like a CGI Guile. And he says like, disheveled hair is connected to losing one's composure. It's not cool. And then he says the ultra hard type of J-Gel is his partner from now on. And I'm like, yo, they just show Guile combing his hair with the hair gel at the bottom right of the picture, and I'm like, yo, this works. This all works. This is all good. So this is awesome to me. Like, I love this. This is great. So yeah, Guile selling hair gel. It took long enough. I mean, should have picked him up a long time ago.
I'm kind of surprised that J-Gel wanted to put Guile as their spokesperson, because his hair is not perfect. I can attest to that. Especially
his hair is not perfect?
No, man. Because if you play Street Fighter 5 has some fucking weird physics shit. I don't know if you've seen it, but if Guile wins a round in particular, I throw a lot of sonic booms, and if I usually kill with a sonic boom, and or I just stand up from crouching as the freeze frame hits, it's like his hair is in his head or something. It's the physics does some weird shit, and I'm like, I just immediately thought of that when I saw this, and I was like, oh man, but yeah, normally yes, Guile's hair is immaculate, but those weird Street Fighter 5 physics does some crazy shit to it sometimes, and a lot of times it's invisible. But I have those keen eyes. I know the truth. Well,
I don't know. I mean, if they couldn't get Guile, if Guile couldn't agree to the negotiations, then they could have gotten Charlie, could have gotten Nash, because his hair is out of control too. Like,
I mean, Guile is probably the right choice there. But at least it ain't no Chun-Li and Ryu like sex pills or anything. So that's cool.
True. Chun-Li and Ryu sex pills. What?
You never seen that? That shit's real.
I think I saw the Chun-Li ones. I didn't know there was a Ryu one, but I probably should have known. I should have figured.
Yeah, Asian bootleg stuff. I don't know.
God damn it. But in any case, so moving on to other news. So in Xbox news, yay! Hey, I'm interested in this because I have one now.
Again, yeah.
It's not Xbox even out of the box yet. It's just talking to me.
But now you got something to look forward to when you get it out of the box.
Yeah. But so the Xbox One's dashboard is changing, and it's going to change soon. And it's adding it's going to add some new features like a more modern community page, revised menu, and the ability for players to build their own homepage using custom content blocks. And one of the main things about this new dashboard is that players will be able to pin pretty much anything they want to their homepage. So, like anything, like games, friends, services, whatever you use frequently, infrequently, or whatever you need, you can just put it right there on your homepage. And so it'll be a lot easier to navigate, I guess, because the Xbox One dashboard does get a little intimidating, and there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And this is just an easier way for you to just kind of like go right to what you know or right to what you want. So yeah, generally it's going to look a lot cleaner, and the guide is also revamped, or the menu icons, I should say. And yeah, that's pretty much I think all about the new dashboard. Just get ready for the change. Let's get ready for another change. But yeah, it's supposed to basically make it easier for everyone to just navigate, because it's a lot. It's a lot at the moment.
I don't even own an Xbox, but I really like how fast that fucking guide is. Like, I'm thinking of the PS4 like quick menu and how fucking long that takes to load sometimes and go through everything.
It does take a long time.
The Xbox guide looks sexy. I am incredibly jealous.
Yeah, the Xbox it was also a lot brighter and more colorful. Not necessarily cleaner, but now it seems like it's going to be a lot cleaner. So
yeah, it looks much better now.
Yeah, so we'll see how that works out. You Xbox owners, you. So
hey, you're one.
Yeah, I am. I am. So, in the last bit of news, this is a really charming story. I love this story. It's heartwarming story. So, the headline is number one dad subs in for son's Rocket League match. Basically, NBC was hosting a 2v2 Rocket League tournament this past weekend, and one of the players' teammates couldn't make it out to the event, so his dad was like, "Hey, I'll fill in," and the internet was like, "Aww, that's so sweet." It's really cool though. It's really heartwarming. Like his dad is just like, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, we're not gonna win, but yeah, I'll do it for my son. And I'm like, oh,
yeah, that's cool.
Warmed my heart. So yeah, it was kind of funny too, because like basically as soon as like the match started, like he looked just like any other person that was kind of like struggling to figure out the controls. Of any game, like especially an older person just trying to figure out the controls to a game. So it was just like, I was like, "Aw, he's so adorable. He's losing. Aw, he's messing up." But cute. actually, in kind of grand fashion, it's kind of like weird how this happened. He actually scored a goal.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what? How did that happen?
I'm honestly not sure what happened there. The clip is in the link in the show notes, but
yes,
it looked like everyone was kind of like letting him do it. I don't know. They were just a lot of people were standing around and stuff. So I was like, what's going on here? Yeah,
I think they kind of like laid off. Like they just kind of took it easy because they knew they pretty much had it in the bag because these are like pros,
Yeah,
but
I think the other team was up a couple points as well.
Yeah, but yeah, they mentioned that in the post game, the son was like, well, it seems like that my dad couldn't figure out how to turn around, and he just happened to have the ball, so he just basically reversed the ball into the goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay, that works.
Yeah,
that works.
Whatever, any way you can get a goal,
whatever works.
Yep.
Yeah, the internet was like, oh,
dad MVP.
Yeah, dad MVP, 100%. So yeah, I thought this was really cool. It's really cool. It's really heartwarming.
Yeah, it's dope, man.
Yeah,
it's always a happy thing when the parents get involved with what the kids doing.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me. I forget exactly what the situation was, but I think everybody's seen this. But it kind of reminds me of like it was like a relay race or like 100-meter dash or something, and like this guy was like he was running, but he pulled like I think he pulled his muscle, or he maybe tore his ACL or something. But he fell, and like he got up and he was like hobbling to the finish line, and his dad like rushes out there past security and like helps him cross the finish line. And it was like everybody's like, oh God, these tears.
Who's cutting these onions in this room?
Yeah, I know, man. It's just so much. It's raining in here. What's going on? So yeah, like it's like that's really cool. It's really cool. So yeah, it's but that's all we have for headlines for this week. It's a good way to end things off.
Yeah.
And so we're going to move into new and upcoming releases. And Alex is going to go ahead and take us through that. So please.
Yeah, so got a few things. Not a whole lot this week, but this week, the week of August 8th, we've got a few new things, such as Lawbreakers is finally coming out. It is now available for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Actually, no, it's on X. Now I have to double check. I'm fucking up here.
Uh-oh.
First time in how many episodes? I don't fucking know.
162.
Yeah. So no, I'm sorry. It is Lawbreakers is available for the PlayStation 4 and PC. No Xbox One version yet, or I don't know if it's in the cards yet. My apologies. Also out this week is a game I've heard nothing about until this week. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice for PlayStation 4 and PC. This is the new Ninja Theory game.
Oh, cool.
Famous for Heavenly Sword, the new DMC reboot, and Enslaved: Odyssey to the West. I will say, I'm probably going to pick this game up, but it's like kind of a departure from their old games. It's not exactly like a character action game. It's a little different, but it seems like they're trying to tackle psychosis and mental illness and in a serious way. So I'm very much intrigued by this game.
That sounds interesting.
But it seems like it could also be a very divisive game because the gameplay doesn't seem super great or super like deep or compelling.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm definitely interested. Also out to this week, a surprise. Like I think I just heard about this thing the other week, and now it's out. It's Batman: The Enemy Within, Episode 1, the new season of the Batman Telltale series. Episode 1 is titled The Enigma.
That's heavily the hints to who the villain is in this one.
Penguin. It's available for PlayStation. It's now available for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC.
Well, like the other season 1 of the Batman Telltale series, I'm going to wait till all of the episodes are over, and then I'm going to get them all at once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Telltale. I wish you had better looking games.
well, trust me. I'm not going to say I've played many. I'm not going to say I've played many a Telltale game because I haven't. But Batman by far is the best looking one that I've seen. Yeah, the production is so good too.
Yeah. Their art style is generally really well done. My problem is really just with the animations and stuff just look kind of janky at this point.
Yeah.
I would love to see that improved. But that's not going to happen for a while. But it'll also this week we've got Cine Mora EX now available for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. I feel like a lot of this stuff this week has kind of been under the radar. Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 is now out for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC.
I actually picked that up. I didn't know it was coming out until the only reason I knew it was coming out was because I was looking on Amazon one day and it just came up under you might like this, and I'm like, huh? This is a thing? And I look at it and I'm like, this is a thing. I'm like, okay, sure.
It's totally a thing.
So I picked it up, yeah. I picked it up, or I should say, I didn't pick it up. It just literally it was at my door when I came home today. So I'm like, yeah, sure.
Amazing. In case you don't know, this game collects Mega Man 7 through 10.
Yes.
So 7, 8, 9, 10. We also have Black Hole Complete Edition for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And finally, the Drinkbox Studios game that was previously on Vita is now out for Switch. It's Severed. Available for the Nintendo Switch. That will do it for our new releases, but I don't know. I kind of wanted to highlight this kind of stuff, maybe in this section. But there's a game that's having a free weekend this weekend, August 10th through the 13th. That game is For Honor. If you've kind of been interested in this game, you can give it a shot for free this weekend, play with some other people, see how the game feels. That free weekend is going to be for all the platforms it's available on. That's PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. I think you can check off the Ubisoft website for details, but I know most of those platforms will have the ability to preload the game before the weekend hits, so you can be ready to go as soon as the servers let you in. But that will do it for all the new releases and other stuff for the week.
All right. Thank you. And that means we're done with this episode for this week. So before we officially go, we would like you to visit innercitygeeks.com, which is where we are. We have a bunch of stuff regarding everything geek. You can also view and or subscribe to our YouTube channel. And YouTube channel is called Good Games. And we have some older episodes on there as well. So that's just another place that you can listen to our show. You can also listen to us on iTunes, where you can leave us a review. It's one of the best things that you can do for us. Just let us know how we're doing on the show, whether you like it, whether you don't. Just leave us some kind of review to let us know how we can do things better or stay the same or somehow be worse. But we shouldn't do that. That's not good. That's not a good thing to strive towards.
Only for the bad games episodes. That's where the bad stuff comes into play.
That's on purpose. That's on purpose. But you can basically listen to us where all podcasts are available as well. And I also want to encourage everyone that if you are going to do some kind of Amazon shopping for some reason, that just go to innercitygeeks.com first. There's an Amazon banner on the right-hand side of the page. Click that. It'll take you to Amazon. Buy whatever it is that you were going to buy. And a little bit of that will come back towards us. It could provide more show and more content just for you. And you can reach us on all the social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, mainly at Inner City Geeks. And the Twitter for this show is at Good Game Podcast. And you can also email us at goodgamespodcast@gmail.com. And so that's going to about do it for this one. Stay tuned next week because I'm going to be flipping out over one game. And I think everybody knows what that game is. So,
except for me, I'm still like in the dark for some reason. It's okay.
He knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I literally do not. But
you really don't know?
I don't, man.
Well, you'll find out. You'll find out next week, just like everyone else.
I definitely will.
So, yeah. So, thank you for listening, everybody. We're gonna say goodbye, and then leaving as always, we say good games, everybody.
Good games.